you had mentioned before about no formal writing until junior high, so I'm interested in your thoughts about that too.
I came to that discovery because I have a reluctant writer. He hated to write, but I knew that when he was going to put his mind to it, that he was going to be a great writer. Because we had tried so many things. We did writing with ease with Well Trained Mind. That was great in the early years, and then she does this huge leap called writing with skill,
I'm writing that down.
and he was like, "I'm not having it," and I hate to write. And so this year I said, let's just write for the fun of writing. And the same thing with her. I've just allowed her to just write whatever stories that she likes. And then we'll do, like, there's this one book called Rip the Page, which is kind of gives you these writing prompts, but it's creative writing prompts. Eighth grade, you're starting to prep them for high school. And so they're going to need to know, oh, I need to indent here. I need to have
Yeah.
margins. What is a thesis? What is an outline? Because I discovered as I pushed him towards that place early, it was almost too early.
Yeah.
It was way too early. So just to write for the love of writing. And I noticed that now when we do book reports, because we have to turn in samples to a facilitator every 20 days. We have to do also a learning log. It tells them what we've learned. And so now I've noticed that after I've stepped back from the high pressure of, you need to write and you have to write in these structures, that his writing has just blossomed. We also do a grammar that's pretty difficult. He doesn't really like it.
I
It's
believe in grammar. I'm a believer though.
analytical grammar. They have it for the earlier ages, but if you are interested about learning different methods, Charlotte Mason is a method, and I read a bit about Charlotte Mason and how, use books, live books as your, learning material, and also kids really aren't ready for formal grammar until 11,
Well,
even 10.
that's kind of my
You could
thoughts too. I'm doing like a little, we're dabbling, but I think it's appropriate simply to dabble at this point with my 9-year-old. That's kind of what we're
absolutely,
doing.
and I have some books. Where did I put them? For you, which is great for the early years. Um, they're called If You Were. And I found these at the library, and because I love
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, I bought them. And it's just a really cute way of introducing your child to if I were a comma, if period, if I were
An exclamation mark
apostrophe,
I saw. That one's
question
cute.
mark,
That was cute.
contraction, plural word, and that way it's like a fun way of going, okay, these are grammar.
You know what? I should get the other ones. We got a couple from the library, but I think I might buy those too. That's a good idea. They are
Mhm.
cute. They are cute.
They are cute, and since you have a younger one, it just transfers to her.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everything is so easy with her. I feel like she's learned a lot of things through osmosis. Just
Uh, well, also too, the first one is our learning ground.
our guinea pigs.
There's the guinea pig. The second one is the one that gets to glean all the good stuff from the mistakes we made with the first one.
I guess we'll just finish up with
Yeah.
a thought that you had shared with me before about the importance of just taking care of mom or whoever it is that is in charge of this whole homeschooling adventure.
Yes. If your well is running dry, you cannot be there for your kids. And you do have to take care of yourself, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. Just, you know, everybody do their quiet reading or just let the kids play outside, but take that moment for yourself. And I also want to say that, homeschooling is difficult. It's not easy. It's I've said before, it's sprinkled in with these really amazing moments and easy days. But, when your kids are going to challenge you and you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Maybe I should just put them in school. and call it quit. We've all said that as homeschoolers, but we
It's true.
never do. Because we know that the alternative, there isn't any best way. You have to be willing to also sacrifice an income. A lot of us live on single incomes, and so the best thing for me was to give to me is we had park days, and that's where we met. And it's a time for the kids to play and for moms to have that filling the well of just being with other mothers and that community of women on the same journey. And we're always sharing our experience, or what are you doing now, or whatever's going on in your life. So you had mentioned cells, and I had mentioned one time Dover coloring books.
You are so great. It's so cool.
And I love Dover coloring books. They're not just kid coloring books. They go from this little kind of easy coloring book to very complicated anatomy books for somebody who's studying anatomy. Then there's also books called Handwriting Without Tears that I use. I just don't want to put her name on there. And it's called Printing Power, and thing called Illustory, that your kids can write a story. And this is her book that she wrote.
Oh, cool.
And so you write the story, and then they print it up into a hardbound book for your kid.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. When did she write that?
She did it last year in 3rd grade.
How cool. That's neat.
And then for science, we love hands-on experiments. So we did a lot of these Science Whiz.
Oh, cool.
So in Science Whiz, it comes with a booklet all about light. So you have this booklet to teach you about light. And then inside you have all of the goodies for the experiments. So inside here you'll have all the stuff to do the experiments. Now, some are better than others. My favorite one was when we trapped hydrogen and we got to pop it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
And then for geography, I came up with a game the first year called The World, and the first year was Where in the World is a Chicken? So whatever we landed on, we landed on Sudan, which was really cool. So we learned about the Sudanese, their culture, their religion, their food. So I found a chicken dish, and we sat in the backyard. We pretended we were out on the Serengeti or in the African plain and listening to African music, and just really kind of diving deeper. And then last year we did Where in the World is the Dessert, which has let us down, even because I really feel like when you are, just like you said, the memorization, they learn let's learn about their music and their culture, and the culture, food really is such a strong connection to learning more about what makes this culture tick and makes them happy. So this is Around the World, another one that we do. So I'll have them color it in, but then because we have to turn it in, we've also made these little maps that you make a little map of it.
Oh, wow.
And right in the middle, write all the facts about the country.
Cool.
We do the story of the world as well.
So do we, yeah.
Which we love. And I love the story of the world because it gives you a snapshot of the story of the world.
And they have CDs too, which we
They
have,
do.
and it's so nice when you have these like hour-long car trips sometimes, or even half an hour, and you just pop it in, and you can practically memorize them because you just play them over and over. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's like that, to go back to that Socratic thing. It's like when I first started out, we did the map work, and I started doing the testing, and then last year we fell away from the map work and just kind of did it through the Dover.
Yeah.
And we just read the stories.
And we did map work this year, and I'm starting to get sick of it. I'm like,
Right.
we need to do this in a different way. I'm getting bored, you know?
We did, but I do notice that because I get tracing paper and we
Mm-hmm.
trace out from the
Ooh,
Dover.
cool.
So, and then what you'll do is you transfer it. And what I've noticed that when we do that, they retain it better in their brain. Like
That's a
we
great
traced and we
idea.
did the American United States, and I mean they have really retained each state.
How do you transfer it? Like if you copy it and then you transfer it, how do you
So
transfer it?
you get tracing paper. So you trace this, right, on one side, then you
Uh-huh.
turn the tracing paper over,
Mm-hmm.
and then you trace on the other side of the tracing paper,
Oh, and then you rub it.
and then you write over it, and that kind of transfers
Good idea.
onto the paper.
I'm doing that. I love that idea. It's a good idea. You're full of good ideas, Lydia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today and
Thanks for having me.
sharing all of the books and the curriculum. I think it's going to be really, really helpful to a lot of people. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, you have a great day.
You too. Bye, Monica.
Bye.